guys, welcome to our English lesson. My name is Mr. Ndlela, and our today's topic will be countable and uncountable nouns. Well, our objectives for this lesson will be you guys will have to be able to define countable and uncountable nouns. You will also have to be able to give examples of these, and you will also have to be able to construct sentences using these nouns. But then before we get to this lesson of the day, I would just like us to take a step back and try to recap on what we last learned about. Well, I know as I'm talking right now, your minds, you're just going back there into what you did. Well, that's a good thing actually, I commend that. So just to give you that brief background on what we did, we were looking at concrete nouns, and we actually said that concrete nouns are these names that are given to these physical things which we can detect with our five senses. That is, we can see, that is, we can hear, that is, we can touch, that we can also taste actually. So then we went on to further say that these examples of these concrete nouns can be a book. A book, we can see it, yes. A pen, we can see it. This marker as well, we can see. So actually, that is the gist of what we did on concrete nouns, the names that we give to these physical things that we can detect using our five senses. Well, then with that said, then we can maybe move on to this new topic of ours, that is countable nouns and uncountable nouns. Countable nouns, these are the things that we can count using numbers. We can also say that they have a singular and a plural form. And examples of such can be, we can say a dog. We can say a dog. This is a singular form. This is a singular form. Well, in plural form, we can say dogs. Dogs. Well, with the singular form, it is one dog. And then with the plural form, these are two dogs, or maybe more, or even more. But here it is one dog. So then, with countable nouns, these can be set as to be countable nouns because we have a dog, which we can count as in like using a number, one, and then dogs can be two or three or even more dogs. Then maybe we can also give another example, which is a house in a singular form. In a plural form, it can be houses. A house, it's obviously one house, and with houses, it can be two or three or more, but then the gist of it is that we are able to count these nouns using numbers. Well, with that said, we can now move on to uncountable nouns, where we are saying these are the things that we cannot count using numbers. They just only have a plural form. And an example of such can be water. They have a singular form because we don't have like two waters, three waters, or whatever. We can also have a. We also cannot count a, like have two A's, three A's, or more, so on and so forth. We can also use clay as well. Clay can also be another example of an uncountable noun. In fact, there are so many that you guys can think of. There are so many that you guys can actually give out in this lesson of uncountable nouns and countable nouns. So with that said, just to wrap up and just to give that a summary of this topic of ours. We said countable nouns, these are the things that we can count using numbers, and uncountable nouns, these are the things that we cannot count using like numbers. In countable nouns, we have a singular form and a plural form, whilst in uncountable nouns we only have a singular form only. So with that said, thank you so much for tuning in into our lesson of the day. Thank you.